Why Hopin snapping up StreamYard is such a great idea. Now I will leave the world of mergers and acquisitions and the land of unicorns and startup investments for others to cover. What I want to look at is the core benefits to event professionals of Hopin's purchase of StreamYard. Firstly, I'm delighted to see two platforms I've been using and championing for the whole of 2020 get together. I've used StreamYard for most of the live interview sessions for the dozen or so events I have run on Hopin, so for me, they were already working together, but this little hookup will make it a real partnership. But for those catching up, Hopin is a destination platform for your event, so the platform where the whole event takes place. StreamYard is a platform that can be used to stream content into the destination platform via something called RTMP. So, for example, you have a panel session taking place on StreamYard and then stream that onto the stage on Hopin and of course any other platform that accepts an RTMP feed. As well as live streaming via RTMP, I have also used StreamYard to record and edit while I record panels which I would then play as pre-recorded content on Hopin. So for me, StreamYard had a dual purpose. With Hopin now owning StreamYard, it will allow Hopin to quickly catch up with some other platforms like SpotMe and Socio, which have been focusing on improving the production of the content taking place on their platforms for much of last year. Here is the CEO of SpotMe introducing the idea of a studio and a conversation I had with them in July last year.
If you can kind of look 3 months ahead, what's new, what's going to be new on with SpotMe?
People are very, if you go on LinkedIn or Twitter and you see people producing virtual events, what you see is in average about 14, we've counted, right? Over 14 screens that it takes to produce a mid-size virtual event. So one of the things that we are 100% committed right now here at SpotMe is to make this very simple. So you may not want to be an AV professional, and you'll still be able to produce your own very professionally looking type of virtual event. And you don't need 25 tools. It's all integrated, and that's what we're working on. You've got your own studio, and that's it.
So Hopin currently lags behind some of the other platforms, as it does sitting without any kind of studio facility, and that's why it had to buy StreamYard. Unlike AirMeet or Run the World, for example, the overlays which appear on screen when you are talking, for example, the name of the speaker, don't look very nice at the moment. On Hopin, you can't change the scene either using their proprietary software. It's all a bit basic. You can't flip between how you want speakers to appear on your panel and how you want them to appear on screen. That's quite basic stuff, and many other platforms are there already. And unlike Zoom or Teams, for example, you can't even use a virtual background on Hopin. So that's why Hopin had to up their game. The quality of the content appearing on screen is becoming even more important for creators and event producers. So you can hopefully get a feel for why it was such a good idea for Hopin to snap up StreamYard. Now this will, I imagine quite quickly, be able to integrate all of the brilliant things that you can do on StreamYard into the studio function, which I'm sure will appear on Hopin soon. And briefly, what will you soon be able to do? So for those using Hopin with StreamYard in the built-in studio, it will make it much easier to add in nice overlays, play pre-recorded content, change the way things appear on screen, and very importantly, allow much more control of who appears on screen. This will add a lot to the experience of running an event on Hopin. But I think it's worth highlighting that many platforms allow you to do this already, so Hopin is catching up. It's still not leading the way. But perhaps the biggest impact this purchase will have on the average Hopin user is that it's likely to drastically reduce the price and also the complication of creating great content. And here's why. Things are about to get much cheaper and easier for planners on Hopin. I know that many planners are paying a similar fee to audiovisual or broadcasting companies for their virtual event that they did for their physical event. And as I have said before, this is not sustainable. The cost of putting on virtual events has to fall if we are to create a vibrant and profitable virtual events industry. And Hopin's purchase of StreamYard will help us do that. By placing the studio inside the platform, as many other platforms are doing, and putting it in the hands of the planner, Hopin and other studio-based platforms have saved us thousands of dollars and made things much easier. Not only will it be easier to produce great content, but it'll be so much cheaper. And that's the big benefit of one of the biggest platforms buying one of the best streaming platforms. So my key takeaways. Number one, Hopin have identified how important the content part of the event is, so check out other platforms which already have the studio concept integrated into their platform. Number two, if you've been holding off making the jump to virtual because it all seemed too complicated, then check out Streamyard as a standalone platform and buckle up to see how well it will work inside Hopin. And number three, if you are paying anywhere near the same amount for your virtual as you did for your physical event in terms of production, then you have to investigate using the simple tools that any planner can master in a matter of hours. Now don't forget to subscribe and check out all of the training and support on the Virtual Event Campus.